All right. As far as the injuries go, the guys who won't go today are Kareem Hunt, who has a bone bruise on his knee. He's going to be okay, but we're going to have him sit out today. And then Trey he's got low back spasms. And so we'll see if that doesn't, it's getting better. We'll just see how it goes. And then Josh, and my update for you with Josh would just be, there's communication. I'm not going to get into all of it. Everything's positive. It's not a negative situation. So he's taking care of family. Other than that, look forward to the challenge of playing Washington, and we know they're a good football team. A veteran group of players that are good football players. And they've got a head coach that I consider right at the top of his profession at this time. He's as good as anybody, and Dan. And then he's got good coordinators there. So offensively, defensively, special teams, they've got explosive players. They've got good guys up front on both sides of the ball. And Mariota, we know, has come in here and won a game. So we get it, that he's a good football player. And we don't slight that at all. So with that, we've got a good week of preparation as we go forward here. So with that, time's yours.
Coach, you mentioned other head coaches, and this week the Pro Football Hall of Fame narrowed its finalist list of head coaches under consideration. One, were you surprised that Mike Holmgren did not get in last year? And two, what's your argument for or against Marty Schottenheimer?
Yeah, I was very surprised that Mike didn't get in last year. At the time, I've said this before, but at the time, I didn't think, when I was working for him, I didn't think anybody did it better than Coach Holmgren. And I still feel that way today after being a head coach and so on. So he had a great feel for the whole thing. And then as far as Marty Schottenheimer goes, I had the utmost respect for Marty. I think he's well deserving to be in the Hall of Fame too. He would go down not only as a great player, but also as a great coach. So a lot of success in his career in a couple different spots, and so and phenomenal guy on top of that. Yeah.
Just considering Trey's a little bit banged up, Mike Kelly-Ando, and just your confidence in him.
Yeah, so we've always looked at Mike as a starter. I think all the guys do, coaches do. So everybody's got confidence that when he comes in, you just pick up and go. And I mean, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about him. I think I'm just speaking for the gang here.
Could you speak to the progress that Rashard Smith has made?
Yeah, he's done a nice job of picking it up. That position, you got to know the pass game, the run game, and then you have these protections that you've got to take care of. And they get a little crazy, the protections do, with all the different looks that defenses are throwing at you, and then also, as many protections as we have, different types of protections we have. And he's hung right in there and done a good job. We've been able to give him a little bit more each week in different roles. We're moving him all over the place. I wouldn't see that part changing. We're going to keep utilizing his talents, hard worker, all that. The intangible stuff's great. So.
With Kareem out today, but he's performing very well, especially in those short yardage situations. You knew he was the back to kind of try to do that, but overall, as a team, you performed well in short yardage situations. Just what's been the key to that success?
Yeah, Coach Heck he sets that up, and I think the scheme is good, but I also think Kareem has a special feel for that, and Pop too. But Pop jumped in and he had one nice short yardage play too. So, but as far as the run game goes, Kareem he's always had a knack for that, and he's a load on top of that. He's a big kid. strong.
Coach, I kind of like 5 snaps where you had Hollywood, Xavier, and Rasheed on the field at the same time. We talk so much about getting them on the field at the same time, but how much of it is also just the advantage of having those 3 guys in waves too?
Yeah, listen, they all contribute and contributed in that game. You've got Thornton, who also stepped up over the last few weeks, and then Juju in the mix. So you got a load of guys here, and we try to keep them all going. So you can kind of throw fastballs out there the best way you can. And we weren't counting numbers of those 3 on the field at the same time, but I know when they were out there, it looked good.
Washington looks like they've been a little bit up and down on defense this year. What do they look like right now as you guys get ready to face them?
Yeah, that front, again, we've played against some crazy fronts here, so it's different than years past. This group is right there. I mean, that front is an explosive bunch, and their pass game, I mean, they're as good as anybody rushing the passer. So we'll have our work cut out for that. And then their linebacking crew is good. They've been banged up a little bit on the back end, but I think they're starting to get people back and kind of in place where they want them. So, yeah.
So is there anything you want to sort of build upon with Rasheed now that it's week 2, after seeing him through a game?
Yeah, so Nate, we set out to get them 40%, 40% or around that area. And it came out to 41%. So the way it worked out, he didn't play the 4th quarter, so and probably wanted to, but I think if you increase it from there, you keep it increasing. He came out feeling good, so that was a positive. Now he gets another week of practice under his belt, and I think he can keep his numbers going up.
Coach, with Omar Norman Lott going to injured reserve, 2-part question here. What's your comfort level with the interior of the defensive line? And secondly, is Mike Gannon an option to slide in there and play more snaps?
Yeah, so Mike does. He jumps in there, and he does now. He gets snaps in there. So, but he's an option for sure. He's a good football player. Yeah, I'm okay though. I'm good with where we're at. Although I thought Omar was coming on for sure. He's going to be a good football player after he gets this thing worked on. So.
Seren?
Coach, it's kind of been a roller coaster with Juwan Taylor and the penalties and everything. You seem to have it. I know you guys were talking about it's got to change, it's got to turn it. It seemed to. Was there anything that in particular got him, locked in?
Yeah, I think it was just his mindset on things and making sure that he took care of business there. I think he's done a great job with it, and I think that'll continue. I'm not saying that every lineman has one here and there, but you don't want to stack them up. That's not a good thing. Right now he's playing real good football, and that's a plus. Even when he was jumping off, his numbers were rich, and as far as win percentage goes. But take care of that business, and he's got something going right now.
Why?
Eddie, you've spoken of this before, but it seems like Jalen Moore has missed a beat, and the continuity in your line is something you haven't really had that way for a little while. What's that done for you? I mean, it's probably self-evident, but what's that doing to you to be able to have that?
Sure. As long as those guys do well, it makes everybody's job a little bit easier. And none of it's easy, but listen, it helps everybody out. Other people benefit from the line doing well, from the quarterback, receivers, running backs, and right now they're holding their own in there for sure.
And we've talked a lot about Patrick's sort of faith in that and the confidence he gets from it. Is it a little different coaching when you can count on it more the way you've been able to this season?
Yeah, I think every coach would say, that if the line's doing good, you're willing to call certain things or not call certain things. But yeah, for sure.
Last one, Sam.
Andy, I just wanted to clarify something on that. You said you had positive communication with Josh, but you guys are in the same spot as wait and see on any potential timeline.
It's been positive. You know, he's just taking care of business. So that's the main thing right here. You start when you deal with this. That's what you do, and he's been very good about communicating it. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, fire away. Patrick, when you had a game like you executed so well against the Raiders, what do you take from that and learn from it and try to bring it to the next?
Yeah, I mean, every game you can look at and you find things that you can be better at. For us, I think it's just going and looking at those plays where we didn't execute it at the level that we wanted to, and we were able to cover that up with some other big plays in certain drives. But at the same time, you learn from the mistakes that you made throughout the game, and you see what you did well, and try to maximize that as well. And so it's a steady building process that we have to continue to get better.
What Jalen's been able to do these past 2 games in place of Josh?
Yeah, he's done a great job. I mean, he's been ready. He comes to work every single day, Truce Pro, he comes to work with the mentality of being ready for that next snap. And so he's done it all throughout training camp, and now he's done it in the regular season, and that's the reason that he's here.
Patrick, it's been a couple of years since you guys, for lack of a better term, made it look so easy on offense. How much more entertaining is it? How much more fun is it when you feel like you guys can just kind of do whatever you want?
Yeah, I mean, I think just having success. You train so hard to go out there and have success on every drive, and whenever you're able to go out there and do that, man, it is something that you're happy about. But at the same time, you have to continue to get better and better. And in this league, defenses adjust and they challenge you to be even better. And so we'll continue to build. I feel like we still have a long ways to go, and we're just kind of hitting our stride. Let's continue to get better and better as the season goes on.
Patrick, you've talked about how that faux snap count and the play at the goal line, like you actually practice these things. How many of those plays do you actually have, like at your disposal, and are they important for like morale, to lighten the mood, to like get things fun?
I mean, I don't know if he ever said. I think Coach does do that. He kind of gives us some plays that we can work on and kind of keep the energy level high, because you're trying to execute it when you get a chance to run it in the game. But there's a lot of plays that we work on, especially throughout training camp and stuff like that. And then there's plays that come to us with every single week that they're new and that are innovative and are made for specific situations. You just don't know if that situation is going to happen this week or if it's going to happen at the end of the year. I mean, everybody talks about the Rose Bowl play that we had. That we worked on that from OTAs and we didn't run it till the Super Bowl. So I mean, that's just stuff you have to stay on the details, because you never know when that exact moment's going to come up.
I only had 5 snaps where you had Xavier, Reid, and Hollywood on the field at the same time. How much of it is not just those few opportunities where you're going to have all 3 out there, but now that you've got those guys coming in waves, so you've got 1 or 2 of them every single down?
Yeah, I think it speaks to the room. I mean, we have a lot of talented guys there, and so you never know where it's going to hit. And obviously, Rashid's going to get a big amount of targets and receptions with Xavier, same way, and then Hollywood. But at the same time, Taekwon can hit a 30-yard completion at any moment. Juju can hit a 15, 20-yard completion at any moment. Rashad can hit a 20-yard completion at any moment. You don't know where it's going to come from, and so that's a luxury for us, is that you want to keep defenses guessing. And I mean, all these guys are going to get a lot of catches, and they're going to have their moment, but they'll be ready to go whenever that moment comes.
This week you have Cliff Kingsbury again this week. What are some of your best memories from being recruited to Texas Tech and playing there?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the first people I would say that truly believed in me in playing the quarterback position, and so he gave me a ton of advice of refining me, but letting me still just be me, and play to my strengths. And so a great coach, a great person that I still stay in touch with, not as much this week, but throughout my career. And he helped me get to where I'm at today, because he didn't put me in a box and tell me I need to play quarterback this way. He let me just go out there and be myself and be the how I play the way that got me there. And I think that's something that's special about him as a coach.
You mentioned Bashar. Just how about the progress he's made in such a short amount of time?
Yeah, he's made a ton of progress, and he'll continue to get better and better. I mean, Coach Reid's offense is hard, especially for that running back position, because you have to do so many things as far as running, catching, blocking, all the different things. And he's been a sponge, man. He's been learning a ton, and whenever he gets his opportunities, he's making plays happen. And I think he's just another weapon in this offense, and he'll continue to get more and more snaps. And then he's done a great job in special teams as well, which I think gets lost in the fold of things, which is huge on our team.
Patrick, did you have people that did want you to feel like, I'm not asking for names, if you want to volunteer names, great, but did you feel that in the recruitment process?
I wouldn't say that, but I just always, you kind of hear that undertone of that talking of you can't play that way. Coach Kingsbury never ever forced me to be just a pocket passer or hold the ball a certain way. He just let me. He would obviously help with my footwork and stuff like that and going through progressions, but he would just let me play when it came to playing. He's like, once you get to the game, you got to go out there and just play your game. And same with Coach Reid and Nash. When I got here, it was they wanted to keep refining and refining, but at the same time, they want me to go out there and just play the game the way it got me here. And so I've been blessed because you can go to some situations, and I've seen quarterbacks in other situations that their game gets kind of boxed in and they don't get to be the best version of themselves.
I know it's a long time ago when you got recruited, but we'd heard stories before that, like, you know, Texas was wanting you to maybe change positions and things like that. Were those things happening when you were in high school, or?
A little bit. Texas, I don't know if it was that bad. I mean, it was just more of I went to like one of those like recruiting days, I think it was junior day, sophomore day, whatever it was. And they told me they wanted me to. I went to walk to the quarterbacks, and they were like, we're actually bringing you here for the safeties. So that was kind of. At the time I did play safety, it had a lot of picks, so I understood that, but I knew that I didn't like tackling people, so I knew that wasn't going to be for me. And then most teams in colleges thought I was going to play baseball, and I think that was something that scared away a lot of colleges, just because my dad played and other guys were kind of getting recruited at quarterback position and then going and playing baseball. But I ended up sticking with football, and Texas Tech believed that I could play both in college, and then end up choosing football at the end.
I know you're not playing the other quarterback, but this is a matchup a lot of people looked at when the schedule came out that Jaden Daniels was going to play, and he's not going to play this time. It's a little bit disappointing. You're not going to both be out there doing this.
Yeah, I mean, you want to go up against the best of the best, and Jaden, with the way he played last year, man, he's in that category, and so he's a talented football player. I've watched play since he was at Arizona State, the LSU, and to now in the NFL, and Cliff speaks extremely highly of him as a person, and so I'm hoping he gets healthy sooner rather than later, but at the same time, man, I know Marcus can play too. I mean, I've seen it firsthand at Arrowhead in the playoffs, and I've seen him play throughout my entire career and have a lot of successful games, including this year. And so we understand it's still going to be a great challenge going up against a great football team and a guy that's had a lot of success in the NFL.
Going back to that recruitment process you were just talking about, it's that kind of mentality of like, hey, I got something to prove still. Does that still carry you to this day, just those memories of that?
Not necessarily. I think I'm just wired that I like want to win. I think that's more than anything. It's not about proving anyone wrong or anything like that. It's just like I'm here and I've gotten this opportunity. Why not maximize it? And so I didn't get a lot of offers, but at the time I didn't know anything different. You know, I was so excited when Texas Tech offered me that I had a chance to go to college and play football. And looking back on it now and watching my tape, I'm like, I would have offered me, but at the time I knew nothing different.
The Titans game that you mentioned, just your personal experience of that game.
Yeah, I mean, it was just such a crazy swing in momentum, you know, and there was a couple of plays here and there that kind of changed the whole thing. If you talk about the Derek Johnson sack, fumble that didn't get called, and then Marcus making that crazy play where the ball gets tipped, he catches it, scores a touchdown, and then Travis getting hurt right before the half. I mean, there was just so many momentum, so many plays that were had so much momentum that we didn't capitalize on, which I've learned from is like you can't let those plays completely change the game. You have to find ways to manage that, and so definitely a learning lesson. Even though I didn't get to play in that game, a learning lesson for me on how big football games, big plays really do matter.
Do you feel any kind of connection to Marcus through the quarterback documentary? Was it enlightening for you about him and you guys going through that same kind of thing, or just separate matters?
100%. I mean, just the quarterback position in general, man. You see it like it's not always just top. Like you have a lot of great moments, but there's times throughout every season, even for me, that you go through these adverse time and you have to push through to be even better. And I'm proud of him, man, because he's had a lot of great moments. He's had moments that he wanted to get back, but at the same time he's persevered and got better and better. And now he's in a great spot now where he's obviously teaching Jaden, but when he comes in the game, man, you can tell he's one of the top tier backup quarterbacks that's going to go out there and have success whenever his number's called. And that's a special spot to be. And I think he's done a great job and had a great career in the NFL.
Isiah, how's it feel like you guys have been progressing as you've rolled through with the running game this season, and where do you guys feel like you are right now?
It's been exciting to just be a part of, just being out there with my teammates, knowing that it started here at practice, so just bringing that energy over to the game, to the big lights, is important.
It seems like the last couple of games you've had a little more burst and opportunity. Have you seen something that's helped you find more of yourself?
Yes, Coach TJ upstairs, is taking time after practices, just like 3 weeks now, and getting the extra work after practice and detailing the work and just finding ways and more room to get back to the way I was as far as playing fast, physical, and that just carries over to the next opponent once you build off of a good game, or just find ways to build off of the missed assignments.
Is any part of you a little tentative as you came back more than you expected to be, as you got yourself back into the flow?
No, just find that rhythm, getting in the mix, just trusting everything, and just allowing the game to come to me.
Hey, Pop, can you please talk about your offensive line? And they've had some injuries this last game. And did you notice any difference?
Yeah, I noticed once the game was over, because I didn't know like Trey was out or whoever may have been hurt. I just know that we were playing fast, and it was kind of like felt like it was, guys were getting rotated, and it felt like it was the backfield, because that's what happens, next guy up mentality. If you're in the backfield, you got another player in and keep rolling. Same thing goes for O-line. Got another guy in, ready to go, and keep rolling.
How would you describe Rashard's progress?
He's doing great in the room. Mental toughness has been good, physical, and he's excited.
I know it's kind of probably a weird spot for him. He got a bunch of carries in the fourth quarter, but everybody knew it was going to be a run every time and all that stuff. What do you think he could learn from a situation like that? Because that's not easy sledding when they all know the ball's just getting run.
Yes, something you can learn from it is 4 minutes. It's a 4-minute situation. We want to finish with the ball in our hands and just, run the ball. That's what we do. Knowing with the defense, knowing you're going to run the ball and just not allowing them to stop us, and just getting better in those situations, knowing the situation, and just keep building off it as a unit.
When you look at the Commanders on tape, like last week, they had a tough week last week. Coach says they got a really good line up front, though. They look like they've been a little bit up and down this year on defense. What do you see from them right now as you guys get ready for this?
Yes, you got guys flying to the ball over there. Great team. We got good leadership over there. So it's come down to the mentality up front, start to finish, and all of us together.
Couple more.
Do you look at the standings? Are you keep track of where you are or where the playoffs would sit right now, or is that something you don't mess with?
No, I don't mess with that. Take it one game at a time. Got to in this league. Every team that comes plays like it's their championship. This is our championship as well. So you just know that, having that in the back of your head, that this is a championship every week.
Can you please talk about your relationship with Kareem and how you guys feed off of each other?
Yes, great relationship. Phenomenal. He's an older guy. He's been around this building for a while now, and he's coming back and getting in that groove. Just, during the situation as far as me being out when I got hurt, him stepping up, playing a huge role, and just throughout that whole postseason, through the season, just being a great leader, being accountable. And as far as me, just being able to keep my head up, my chin up, being able to know when I'm in or when I'm out of there, knowing the situation, being able to adjust.
Last one, anyone? Thanks, Isiah.
5 snaps? Is that all you have? I mean, what's it feel like to only play that many snaps and have an extra day?
Yeah, definitely took advantage of that. Kind of got our legs back a little bit. Kind of got a little rest, spent some time doing some things outside of football, family, friends, played my dog a little bit. So just refreshing the mind a little bit. But we obviously got a lot of football, a lot to play, a lot of things to improve on. Even with 0 points, there's things you can improve on. So I was working on those things this week.
What's it like watching a game where you had 30 overall plays, and I mean, even Chris said after the game, so I'm feeling pretty nice about it. But what's it like when you have little to really review from a previous game going to the next game?
Yeah, it's always learning curves, man. There's some communication things, things you can go here and there, especially in my position. There's a lot of noise when I'm out there on defense, so I'm learning when not to make a check or making a bad check or just making things in a timely manner. Things you can always improve on throughout the week, but obviously we didn't play that many snaps, so playing around, we were fresh. So energy and effort definitely was one of the things we're working on.
So faced a lot of backs this year against other teams that have all this production. I guess why has this team been so good against the run, especially against the elite running backs?
Yeah, so for our D-line, I think they do a great job of taking on blocks for us, putting 2 hands on guys and getting us run-throughs. I took advantage of those early in the game, but also just the coaches. I put a great scheme together. I'm taking away what they want to do best, make them do the second or third thing, and then after that, we're just flying around. Production at the ball. We're just trying to have fun. I think we got me, Leo, and Drew. We're trying to fight to the football, so see who gets there first, and that's kind of our mindset every play.
What stands out about Washington?
Yeah, what stands out is about the offensive tackles obviously been playing great for them. They do a great job to get their pass catchers back. So it's going to be a added boost to those guys, and the running backs are doing great this year. One's averaging 5.3, I think, per carry. And you got another one averaging, I think, 4.2 or something like that. So I guess it's going to be a challenge for us up front. Stop the run early, give them the favorable downs for us, and try to get out the quarterback.
Nick, you've been able to play from in front the last couple of weeks. You know, how much the offense has really been going? How much does that help you guys when, how much does that make them one-dimensional when they're going to start chasing a point total?
Yeah, obviously the last couple of weeks has been a lot of that. Run teams early and then getting to the later half of the game, having to pass the ball a little bit to score points. So obviously it helps us a lot. I just joke around with those guys, just don't score in 3 minutes and keep the 8-minute, 9-minute drives out there so we're always fresh. But yeah, man, the scoring points, man, I think it's giving us a lot of juice on offense and defense, and also special teams, and giving the crowd a little juice too. So we're pumping those guys up, just put the ball in the end zone, baby, and we're gonna have good games.
What do you prepare for with Mariota? It's a little different look than Daniels maybe, but he's still someone who's gotten it done at times.
Yeah, they do a great job of keeping the offense kind of similar in things that they do. Mariota runs the ball a little bit more, kind of with his legs a little bit, but overall, kind of come in with their offense, their scheme, and things they want to attack us with. They kind of just kind of marry with that a little bit. Obviously, Jane Daniels is a great player and great down the field throws and stuff, and but I just think they do something similar to both of those.
When was the last time I didn't check Mizzou, you were involved in a shutout?
Oh, man. Maybe a long time ago, maybe high school. It's been quite a while. Actually, it might have been my freshman year in college. One of those two. It's been a long time since I had that much production on defense and having less than 5 first downs and less than 100 yards. So it's definitely hard to do in this league, so you're going to cherish that one for a while.
How unique is it for the defense to have to take on a backup? I know he's had games earlier this year, but how unique is that challenge?
Yeah, I think it's unique, especially when you don't know until right before the game. But I got a little bit of time to kind of scout a little bit. He played a couple of games this year, played some games for him last year. So you got some tape to kind of look at and just kind of figure out what he does best and kind of treat him as a regular quarterback.
Speaking of high school and college, we were talking to Patrick about his recruitment at Texas Tech. You came out of Texas high school football.
Yeah.
What do you remember about your recruitment to Missouri? Is there anything you appreciate about how they?
Yeah, obviously I didn't have a lot of offers coming out, and so I was kind of waiting around for a couple of schools, Kansas, Missouri, Louisiana Tech was kind of like my last 3 after Washington dropped me. So Mizzou offered me a little bit after, maybe 14, 15 days before signing day. So I remember just being ecstatic, took an official visit, kind of felt like home, and just wanted to play in the SEC, so kind of checked all the boxes off, and that's kind of my recruitment in a nutshell. Probably about 21 days long, I guess, picking up good schools, so yeah.
I've kind of thought this for a while. A lot of the players on your team who've been really good have had kind of similar stories than that.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone on your team was a 5-star recruit and all that stuff. There are some guys. But do you think that's kind of a mentality that has been around this group, that even though you've won Super Bowls and you're in the National Football League, that you still got a little bit of chip?
Yeah, I feel like it's a chip on the shoulder and also just a simple humbleness. Guys never, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us didn't have everything coming out of high school or have it all together or just wasn't highly talented guys. So we understand the team aspect of it. And yeah, I feel like that shows a lot of selfless guys trying to take things out for their own play a little bit, or they got better stats or chase things and putting the team first. So I definitely see that.
Are you a guy that, do you look at the standings? Are you aware of where you guys are in the standings at all?
And not really. It's a lot of football left to play. We're just trying to win a game every week.
So if I asked you right now, are you in or out of the playoffs if they were today? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure we're out. Kind of a mindset. We didn't play very well first couple of weeks, so yeah, I'm pretty sure we're out. But just taking week by week.
Nick, you've seen Leo now from the very beginning of his professional career.
Yeah.
He's asked to do a lot of different things. In your mind, where has he progressed the most?
Yeah, he's always been a great at the run defense. Honestly, his best thing he's probably done the last 2 years is communication, the IQ of the game, learning things around him, things that are happening. There's things that linebackers we can alert each other to. You can kind of see him kind of doing that a lot, and also just evolving in terms of being a D lineman a little bit. He's doing some a little bit more rushing, a little bit this year, and a little bit last year, but more this year. So adding that to his toolbox, and he's executing at a high level with that.
One of the things that you got to do was rest, but then the backups got to play. How much fun was it to be up there on the sideline watching Jack and Cooper go out there and kind of make plays?
Yeah, well, those guys are getting a lot of reps throughout the week, and able to go out there and execute the game plan. Obviously, last time the twos came in versus the Ravens, the touchdown was given up, and they kind of took that to heart. So I definitely was proud of them to go out there and have the success they had, keeping them from getting a couple first downs and keeping out the end zone. So it's definitely super cool to see those guys that don't get a lot of credit but do a lot for us throughout the week. I get a chance to go out there and sign on Sundays for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.